Good evening. Or good morning. And, okay, not muted. All right, take two. Why can't I make things work the first time? No, skip. Go away. There we go. Okay. Jeez, mother petunias. Okay, so, all right. Good morning. Revising. Uh, Good morning. Doing the test. Markiplier made it popular. Uh, actually already did the test already, just to be transparent. Probably going to be answering the same questions. Too lazy or not really interested in wanting to try to mess with my editing software programs to try and shorten or edit out anything I didn't want to actually show up. So I'm just streaming this for those who wants to come in to listen and watch while I'm doing this test, and also hopefully reword certain responses a little bit better that I feel more comfortable with, or anything like that. Know what else Markiplier made popular? Banging Pokemon. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. uh, Morning Hexen. Uh, uh, that was so random. But yes, redoing the test. Most likely will answer the same questions, but hopefully I'll do it with a bit more words not functioning in muzzle tongue tied caught myself. I am hoping to answer these a lot more thoughtfully and less crudely than I did before, and without answering in a way that might feel a bit too personal or make you think of me in a certain light, especially the ones in regards to violence. Like, I don't condone violence all that much in real life, but there was a question in there where I admitted to something, and I will do my best to re-explain that as best as possible again to why. I'm already doing it. Okay, shutting up, turning on the music, and let us begin once more the test. And as I was trying to mention earlier, before I realized I had muted myself, I was mentioning how when I first was watching a portion of Markiplier's video, which I have watched the whole thing, so I now know there are multiple observations or analysis, because he got something completely different than what I got. So there is potentially multiple different endings or analysis that could be made. So kudos to the developers of this game for being that thoughtful and giving out specific responses and not just being a generic one-all ending. But yeah, I happened to notice that in Mark's video, the area around the gentleman in the plague mask was a lot darker. So I never noticed that there was a bloody doll. I'm hoping a bloody doll here, a bloody bucket, a bloody teddy bear, a cobweb bookcase, handprints and arrows around here. It's like it's like this game was trying to actually put hidden messages, real hidden clues in there, but it really is just like a not personality test kind of thing. So hopefully I'm not getting flagged for anything. Then again, I'm probably going to get a copyright from playing the Alfred Hitchcock audio, which I'll just cut out if that's the case. Whatever. Anyways. Oh god, now my nose is clogging up already. Fuck you in my throat. Okay. Once more, double checking. Okay. Now, in order to begin, this is the most important part of this entire experience. You will be asked a series of questions, and you must answer them honestly. Now, when I say answer them honestly, I don't mean answer them how you like to answer them. Answer them with the truth, even if that's hard to face. We all want to be good people. We rarely want to admit our faults, grievances, or mistakes. But you must decide what you truly want. Do you want this to work properly? Do you want the truth about yourself, your destiny in this world? Or would you rather live a lie just to hide from yourself? The process is very simple in theory. Just answer a long series of questions, and boy are they long! What's difficult is self-analyzing your own psyche to evaluate the truths in your mind, our mind, and life. What's difficult is self-analyzing your own psyche to evaluate the truths in your own mind and life so that you can predict your future. You see, as long as you're honest with these questions and answers, you'll be able to see your own future here. This will tell you things you already know, but don't necessarily know that you know. You know? As long as the answers you provide to the questions asked are 100% honest and true, this process will simply unlock a part of your mind that you do not have natural access to. This isn't psychic. This isn't a personality test. This is simply nature. This is you. This is your own mind. This is simply nature taking its course. This is the human brain at work unlocking hidden truths within itself. While attempting to answer many of these questions, you'll often wonder things like, well, this answer depends on the circumstances. Create your own circumstances in your mind and answer the questions with a simple yes or no as you see fit. You may not understand nor realize it, but your mind will develop the situation the situation required to answer your question the way it needs to be answered. I invite you to grab a drink of water, sit back, relax, I hope, and enjoy the experience. We are about to begin with a series of questions, and provided that you're a willing participant, we will be unlocking some substantial information today. Here we go. Do you believe that everyone should always be treated fairly? And I say that I would like everyone to be treated fairly. Now, that is a broad question to do I want murderers to be treated fairly? Do I want dictators to be treated fairly? Do I want corrupt politicians to be treated fairly? Do I want my enemies to be treated fairly? But in the grand scheme of things, I still would prefer that everyone is treated as fairly as possible. I don't know if that would create a issue where if everyone is treated fairly, then where is there a difference? This is fairly. So I'm going to say yes. Do you believe that everyone should always be treated equally? Yes. I I feel like that should be the case. Granted, again, we're talking about everyone, and I'm assuming you're including all the ne'er-do-wells I have just brought up. But in the grand scheme of things, again, I'm thinking of everyone with a good conscience and soul. I'm hoping. Yes, I do feel like it. Have you ever invented anything? No, not really. I kind of try to figure out what exactly. To me, that would be a no. Again, that's just how I feel. But a lot of these questions, I will say, despite my answers, is always going to have like a caveat or have a asterisk because I know that that's a broad question or ambiguous one. Like, there's no easy way to answer these because there's always some kind of form of variable that will not really fit, no matter how much I want it to fit. So I want to say yes, but I know that that's not necessarily correct. But I don't want to just say no when that's not what I truly believe. So just keep that in mind when I answer some of these things. But again, have you ever invented anything? No, I have not invented anything. I've tried to invent things, but I either never get too far with it or if somebody else has already taken it. Now, if you mean food, there are some concoctions I've made, but I don't think we're qualifying recipes or anything like that. And most of it's just fried food. I'm gonna be honest and say no. Do you believe that you're worthy of someone's time investment? Part of me wanted to immediately say no, but I do feel like there are some people I know who would tell me otherwise, and I would believe them. I I I mean, I'm seeing this in more of a way of I matter to somebody right now who feels that I am worthy of their time investment. Let alone business or otherwise or so. So I think if I'm still being honest, I'm still saying yes. Again, with an asterisk. But I'm trying to feel like I do matter to somebody's time. Would you consider yourself to be open-minded? To an extent, yes. I mean, geez, I'm a dreamer, so I would think that would fall into the same matter. Uh, I think I said yes last time too. Yeah. I mean, I'm open-minded to things. That doesn't necessarily mean I will agree to what I am considering when being open-minded. It's just that I'm capable of, okay, I'll hear you out, or okay, I'll take a look, or something like that. Whether I agree it or go head deep in it, that's a different matter. So yes, I am open-minded. Would you say that you sometimes have trust issues? Okay, so this one I think I said no last time because I don't recall really having too many issues with trust with anybody around me, except after a while, some questions came up that made me question this one. Because trust issues can also apply to strangers. And I have to admit, with this day and age, with everything that's been going on, with how much of our not just country, but the world has been showing their true colors. Or at least showing the more darker aspects that kind of figured was always there, but now they're being more open about it. I'm a little skittish in wanting to really put any trust in thinking that I'm not going to get ridiculed, or somebody's going to start screaming at me, or somebody's going to gank me from behind, or just, I don't know. I'm thinking of the worst case scenario. I hate thinking of the worst case scenarios, but it happens a lot. Especially when I make certain decisions that I feel like, oh wait, this could be consequences. I could get consequences from this, or start thinking of the worst thing that could potentially happen and start spiraling into that. That's a problem with me. But so that is what the game wants. I think this time I am going to say that yes. But again, this is an asterisk. I don't have the issue with my parents or with a lot of my friends. It's just more about the public. It's more about random strangers, or sometimes even with even some people at work that I God, it's a yes and no. Considering what I'm going to bring up later, I'm going to say yes this time. Would you be alright with living alone forever? No, I would not. I need connection. I'm an introvert, but I know I will go stir crazy if I were to ever live alone forever. There is no way I could deal with that. I would want to be with friends. I would want somebody to chat with. I do want to be around my family. I want to be in their lives. So, no. That is an easy no for me. I like my solitude, but I do not want to be in solitary confinement forever or anything like that. I would go crazy. I would hate my life by that point. Do you always give someone the benefit of the doubt? Once again, it's another asterisk, but with everybody that I know, it's a yes. Harder to say with strangers, but I don't interact with this kind of situation with strangers all that much. So I think I said yes because this one is just more with people I know, with people I interact with close company. So yeah, I said yes, and I will continue to say yes. Do you dislike the sound of your own voice? God, yes! I don't know how anybody can stand listening to me half the time. I sound fine when I'm just speaking without hearing it recorded, but when I hear it recording myself, change me now. Do you like the color blue more than the color black? Yes. Now, if it was orange, also, yes. But blue was my favorite original color before I started exploring some things. And it still is. I've always been drawn towards blue more than I have been with red or green or yellow as primary colors, anyways. And I know green is not a primary color, but it is usually like a team color in a lot of games or so. I usually always like to root for the blue team, even if the blue team is not exactly my favorite group of people that's in it. But go blue team! It's how I was, and still am. If you found money on the street and knew who it belonged to, would you give it back to them? Yes. Tabby explored orange. I did. Well, which is why orange and blue are now my favorite colors. And it works because it's a primary and complementary, right? That's the right way to call it, or secondary. Those just clash together well, just like red and green and yellow and purple. I forget. Early stream. What the? Yeah, I told you I was going to be doing this in the morning, Zero. Just not as early as I was planning to. This is a little bit late now. But welcome to the early stream. But yes, to this question, if you found money on the street and knew who it belonged to, would you give it back to them? Yes, I'm not a greedy cat. As much as I would love to be able to just find money to help pay off some debts and maybe finally do some stuff in my life, I would not take money that I know belonged to somebody else. I would give it back. I'm not that mean. I'm not that greedy or mean. Still an Elden Ring, huh? Are you sure you want the answers, you sing? No, not really. Are you afraid of spiders? Refer to the no fear, one fear clip that I posted. It even in real life. Yeah, I hate it. I hate them as much as I hate ants. Oh, the horror stories I have with the ants. If I didn't know who the money belonged to, I'd 100% keep it. Yeah, if I didn't know who the money belonged to, if it was just random money that was just out and about, yeah, I probably wouldn't think twice in keeping it. But if I know who it belongs to, I'm not keeping it. I'm just making that clear. If you knew you would emerge unscathed, would you jump into molten lava? Now, this might be a controversial one because I'm saying no. I don't care if I would emerge unscathed. I would still be terrified to even attempt to jump into something like that, knowing what it'd normally be capable of doing. Also, and this might not work because it's saying emerge unscathed, so it's saying you jump in and you can come out of it. Then this probably wouldn't be a factor. But what if you did actually stay into that molten lava and you stayed in there too long to where it starts hardening, cooling down, and you get stuck and trapped in there? And that's something I wish to avoid 100%. Still, no, I don't care even if I would emerge unscathed. My body would still be terrified of even wanting to attempt it. Maybe if somebody did it first and then seeing things, but no. Would you consider yourself to be fat? Unfortunately, yes. I really need to get back to exercising and laying off the damn wings. Would you say that you have lots of charisma? I said no because I don't feel like I would have enough charisma to aspire a lot of people or so, or I don't feel like I use anything of it. Navi becomes chubby during winter. I mean, yeah. uh, I said no because I honestly don't feel like I do. And you all are welcome to disagree or agree, but that's just me. Because again, I feel like I usually, unless I'm streaming things, and that's more being manic and hyper, so that's not really charisma. I don't feel like I give that much. So now, have you ever wished you could be temporarily frozen today? No, I never had that kind of sensation. I don't know why I would, unless it would be I agreed to be frozen in a cryogenic freezer. So if I had like a disease, we're gonna wait until somebody discovers the cure to cure me or so. But that's gonna be like money, man. I ain't gonna be no Faye Valentine and get stuck in debt. But yeah, no, I've never had this. I've never had this wish. This is all very interesting. Do you realize that the last letter of the previous 5 questions, when put together, spell the name Satan? To preserve my actual actual ending that I'm getting, I'm gonna say no. I am now because I didn't realize this before. Faye Valentine is worse because she can't age. Wait a minute, what do you mean she can't age? Wait, when did they say she was immortal? Anyways, originally when I first did this, no. And I'm going to say that again. But I did now. Does that make you uncomfortable? Yes! Are you good at finding hidden puzzles or clues? Now, contrary to those last responses, I feel like I am. Like, I mentioned in the last time I did this that when I watch other Let's Players play their video games, especially with puzzle ones, I tend to solve what's going on faster than they're doing it. Sometimes to a point where I'm just going to fast forward to get to the answer or get to their part where they actually answer it. It's like, oh god. Uh, but yeah, I feel like I am. I don't feel like I'm an expert, but I do feel like I'm usually good at that. It's implied that the time works differently for her because of the war. Oh, gotcha. Okay, of the warp accident. That makes sense. So, well, not when we play, but sure. What you talking about, Willis? Uh, the fuck was that? Hold on a second. The fuck? Oh, don't tell me it's Satan and it's not Satan. I think something just kind of tapped on my door, and it was probably the wind, probably the hanger against the, I don't know, wind. It was the wind. Anyways, I think I am. When I'm not in, when I'm not in, when I am not being berated by certain people or having terror and action slamming down my throat, when I'm in a calm spot to where I can do more observing than during action, I feel like I am better at hidden puzzles and clues. I say yes. Are you now wondering what other hidden messages are placed within these questions? Yes, and I still am. Have you been entirely honest with your answers thus far? I don't know. I mean, yes, to an extent, but anyway. Are you afraid of the consequences for answering questions dishonestly? I said no, because this is a game. Though I probably would have said yes if I had been more cautious of this game pulling any jump scares on me. Because, I mean, I originally thought this was going to end like a joke. Like, this was like a horror story that's going to, like, do scares at you at the end, all that stuff. Spoilers. No, this is a real sincere questionnaire, apparently. But I said no because it's just a game. How are you going to consequent me? Were you aware that there could be potential consequences for answering dishonestly? No, I was not. Are you wondering how these questions began to take a strange turn? A little. Are you aware of Markiplier? Yes or no? That would be interesting if they updated this game and suddenly threw that up there. Would you consider yourself captivated with the game or with life? But I think I did say yes, I was. Very interesting. Would you consider yourself to be brave? No. Maybe in terms of video games, and even to some extent. Again, one fear, no fear. One fear. But those are video games, and I like to goof around with those too as well. And then, of course, there are going to be video games, horror games that will still scare the shit out of me in movies. But I'm brave enough to watch those and play through those, even if I tend to suddenly get spooked or frantic when jump scares or terrifying things happen. But at least I have control over that. But if we're talking about real life situations, as much as I would want to say yes, it's still technically a no. I would not be brave enough to do like the more heroic stuff or even be brave enough to venture into areas without company. And even with company, sometimes into areas that you're really not supposed to be going in there for, because I'm just more sensible like that. Or I feel like I would be more sensible like that, but nah, unfortunately, I am a bit of a scaredy cat when it comes to other things. Again, an asterisk in specific circumstances, but on a daily basis, we'll say no, not really. Do you view yourself as someone with above average intelligence? I really hope so. Have you been looking for hidden messages in these questions? I did before, I still am, but I don't think there really is. Except for maybe one more. Are you wondering which hidden messages you may have missed? Yes. Have you begun to wonder how long this test will take or how many questions exist in this session? Uh, no, I kind of know the basis of this now. Would you consider yourself to be a patient person? Yes, though there have been moments in my life or recently that kind of tested that, especially with last week. But I generally am usually very patient. I usually let people do what they need to do first. I let cars at intersection go first before I go. Granted, more for I just rather they go so that I don't chance running into them or they suddenly do something stupid and run into me. I take my time with doing work. I take my time with solving things. Sometimes. Generally, I am a patient person. Sometimes I might not show that in game because games is like, I can either be patient or I can just be sporadic. There's no real consequence to it. I would say I can be more patient than I think others or other people that I have been around with. You are half and half. Honestly, there is one other friend who is probably more patient than I am to to an extent that it pisses us off. Pisses me and others off because there is patience and there is just procrastination. And I know I have a problem with that, but my friend just doesn't quite understand time is in the essence to like eh. Anyways, you are patient enough to explore games and you aren't you are patient enough to explore games and you aren't in Wildlands. Okay, yeah, that's true. But I still think generally, game or no game, I am patient. Do most humans annoy you? Yes. The asterisk being not my well, I love my parents. But there are times that some of their requests or their suggestions annoy me. I love my friends. Now, okay, family, friends, that's a whole different spectrum. Just humanity in itself. I'm sorry. Lately, with everything that's been going on, with with seeing how open some assholes have been, there are humans that annoy me. Zero, you annoy me playfully to where sometimes, but I know it's all for fun and games, and I don't completely take the annoyance seriously. So you're cool, man. You're cool. But yes, I have to be honest. Humans annoy me. Do you prefer animals to people? Yes. I think that one's more obvious there. I mean, oh god. That is a very vague question. Everyone has been annoyed by humans before. That is true. Do you believe in magic? Ba-da-da-da. I had to say no because until I actually see real evidence of it, I want to believe. I want to believe. Actually, you know what? No. I believe. I still believe. I believe there could be some form of magic that exists out there that I have yet to see. I kind of wish I want to see it. The magic, the truth is out there. Do you believe in God or the existence of some form of higher power? I am very hesitant to start believing in the most popular gods and religions these days. With growing up and all that stuff and seeing how this world has come to, but I do still wish to believe in an existence of a higher power. That I wish to believe that there is still something beyond this. Granted, that might be a fool's errand, but that is my belief. In actual God, God needs to actually do something to really do something to make me believe in him more these days. Or her. But as a higher existence, I do kind of want to try and believe that. God was canceled. Yah is the new hottest now. Who's Yah? But yeah, who is Yah? But anyways, I do at least in the higher form of power. Do you fear death? I mean, to the extent of everybody else, but yeah, I fear it more myself these days. Again, with everything going on, it's Yah is the Old Testament God, the Hebraic God. Okay, I'll have to look into that. But yeah, I do fear death. I fear death because I fear that it could come sooner than it should be later in many different forms, and especially with how this century has been starting. It's not a good start. I'm not that's why I'm not brave to go out. Well, I'm not brave to take any chances right now. Which sucks. That shouldn't be how we live our lives, but it's that case. This world sucks right now. Are you attracted to someone whom you're not currently in a relationship with? No. Not that I believe. I no. Yeah, no, I'm not attracted to anyone that who I'm not currently in a relationship with. I mean, apologies if there's anybody out there who thinks so, but yeah. Even if it wasn't real God, and the old is the only thing that lately keeps me moving. So I believe because it makes me happy, and that's fine with you, Zero. You do you. That's cool. I will not say otherwise. Aw, Tabby isn't kinky. Oh, I'm. Is that how we're playing kinky? Because I was thinking kinky of the other things. Did you answer that last question with 100% honesty? I believe I did. Are you alone? Okay, well, once again, are we talking about in the house, in my room, having people watching and having conversations with me during the stream? Because at this point, no, I'm not alone. I've got 2 friends with me right now from other parts of the world, but yeah. So this time, no. Are you alone? No, I am not. If I told you with utmost certainty that there's something watching you, would you believe me? Mm, yes, because once again, Zero, Hex, and anybody else that's just kind of roaming in the stream, yeah, they're watching me. I mean, if you open the front door, I can count. How do you feel alone? Well, duh. There are several somethings watching. So, have you wondered who I am? No, I haven't. You're just a sprite, an MCP. Have you had shivers at any point during this session? No, and that's not even shivers from just like cool air coming into my room that would normally give me goosebumps. And not the shivers of the, my god, this is getting terrifying kind of way. Nope. Wait, did I say yes or no? Shit. Oh, I did this last time too. I don't remember which one it was I accidentally clicked on. Do you believe in life after love? All 4 of us, Tabby. 4 of us. Tabby, Hex, me, and the FBI agent on the other side. Do you feel like you're being watched? Yes! Have you considered quitting this session earlier? No. Do you drink water every day? Yes. Keep hydrated. Do you eat at least once per day, every day? Oh, yes. Yes, I do. Do you realize that there's a high probability that you've missed a plethora of hidden messages thus far? Yes. Are you wondering what they are? Yes. Would it bother you to know without finding them yourself? Yes. Is your favorite number 7? Yes, it actually is. Life is short, but it's the longest thing we'll ever do. Do you agree? Yes. In the context of the fact that we are born and then several years into the future we will die. It will be the longest thing we will ever do in our lives. I mean that's I mean I agree that's to the context. Oranges cannot be compared to apples. Do you agree? I mean, I tried to compare it. I tried to say that they're both kind of round, but the apple's not exactly round. They're both somewhat sweet, except one is more citrusly sour, the other is just juicy. Well, they're both juicy. One has a pit, the other does not. One can be both can be peeled. I mean, there are some things you can compare, others you can't. So once again, it's a half-half situation. And I think I said no. I think there was more no than there is yes. Venus is sometimes referred to as the morning star. Did you know that? Yes, in fact, I knew that before I had to look it up the first time. Just to confirm that I knew. Because it could be referred to as the morning star or the evening star, as it is the brightest star that that will appear on our night sky as dusk or dawn settles. So, yes, I already knew that. Everyone deserves a second chance. Do you agree? No. My reasoning for that is, once again, it is a broad question. No, who else was the morning star? Lucifer. Yes, I know, the fallen angel. uh, yep. But yes, no, I don't agree. Because once again, I go back to the whole near-do-well things. While I like to try to give as many people the benefit of the doubt, when it comes to heinous people who have done heinous things and do not actually feel remorse for it, or did it in such a way that there is just nothing that will make me want to ever want you around me or my loved ones or friends ever again, they could go right the fuck off. So, in this particular case, you're saying everyone, and in this particular case, I don't agree that everyone deserves a second chance. I think tons of people can, depending on the circumstances, once again. Like, just a lie that went a bit too far, but it didn't necessarily hurt or kill anybody. It was just a stupid thing at the moment. They realized they were a fucking moron, and if they at least show that they absolutely realize they didn't mean to do harm, or they realize this was a stupid thing, it is possible that a second chance could be deserved. But again, murderers, rapists, God, it's not an easy yes or no on this one. I will be honest. Don't read too much into it. But again, this is just my opinion. No. Not everyone. Tons of people, but not everyone. You can do anything you put your mind to. Do you agree? Uh, yes. I think we all have the capability of being able to put, regardless of how successful that becomes, as long as we have the ability to commit to it and be able to just really hammer down what is possible to get something done, I believe it is possible. Much like the first one, I'd say no to that one. Okay, so we're both in agreement with that last one. Okay. Anyway, that was Hex saying that. Okay, but yes, I feel like it is possible. Obedience is more important than freedom. Do you agree? No. Granted, freedom can be misused as well. Just look at the last few years in this country. But I feel like obedience is, I feel like that might be taken, that could get taken to a not great area. Uh Freedom and obedience go by the hand. Yeah. I feel like I would value freedom more than I would obedience. That that one's harder to really describe. Just take with me that while I say no, that doesn't mean that freedom should be taken lightly. It needs to be actually represented better than it has been these days. But I would go with freedom more than obedience. Underwater adventures sound like a fun time. Do you agree? If I were to transform into an aquatic dragon-like creature and be the beast of the ocean, so that I can defend myself and feel like that I am the one to be feared, then sure, yeah, it could sound like a fun time. But as a lowly small cat who already has a bit of an issue with the unknown of the oceans, no. No, I do not. I did try a underwater submerge with some kind of helmet kind of piece to explore like an area of a coastline in Mexico on a cruise once. I will admit, it was fun, but I was always afraid that that helmet was going to break on me at any moment, and I was going to suffocate. So, drowning is not a fun thing I like to imagine. So, unless I was a water dragon of some sort, sure, or a mermaid, or Sephiroth, or something. Wait, why did I say Sephiroth? Sephiroth? What? Why? Anyways, but no, it does not. Do you realize that the first letters of the previous 8 questions spelled the phrase "I love you"? I did not. I did not. Do you wish to be loved? I think lots of people would wish to be loved. I already believe I am loved. So I already do believe I am loved by lots of people. But of course I would wish to be loved if the circumstances would be that nobody did love me. Yes, I would. Have you ever felt hated? Yes, I have. Have I ever felt hated? Yes, I have. There have been situations in my life where I feel like I may have fucked up in certain responses or actions that was not intentionally meant to be mean or intentionally meant to do harm, but I've had moments where I've had some conversations where it has come back to where sometimes I don't know if they like me anymore or if they want to even be around me, where I feel like I'm getting glares or daggers at me. So I have had that feeling before. Thankfully, it's not as common, but I do remember having that feeling once before. So yeah, it's happened. Do you have any addictions? A food addiction would be one of them. Other thing, I don't have an addiction to alcohol, thankfully. I pace myself very well with that. Once in a blue moon kind of things, like today, later. um, I thankfully don't have any drug addictions. Oh yeah, I mean, food addiction, dude, you need food to live. Yes, but I will admit I might eat a bit too much. And man, the wings, man, they keep calling my name. But no, I will admit I think I do have a bit of an addiction to food, and that really has to be something I need to learn to control because that's part of the reason why I feel fat. Well, I am fat. I really need to control those. Believe me, Tabby, that is not an addiction. Mm, I kind of feel like I beg to differ, but that's not an addiction. Uh, it's hard to say. There are other things that could also qualify as a potential addiction too, but uh, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a harmful addiction. It's just saying addictions, and I have addictions. But if we're just going off the basis of harmful addictions, then I guess we could say no. Do you dislike the color pink? Absolutely not. I like pink. Pink could be a good color. Does the color gray seem depressing? Yeah. Unfortunately, when I see gray, it's usually like fog covered areas or when it's overcast. It just feel the gray just unfortunately emits those kind of sceneries or so where it just feels morbid or it feels damp or it feels groggy. Gray just has that depressing feeling to me. It's not like a strong depressing feeling. It's just I feel the hint of depression or depressing feelings from it. So yeah, it does. Do you enjoy loud music? I said no, and that's mostly because while there are some rock music and some loud musics, epic musics or stuff that I do enjoy, I enjoy more of a kind of hodgepodge of different varieties. Like, and if I were to be honest, I kind of prefer more of a, I don't know what I would say, like not pop, but like kind of a alternative rock that's not necessarily like guitar or hip, and definitely hip hop that, yeah, like, I don't know how to describe it. I I like me some techno. I like me some synthetic. I like me some piano music. I like me some classical music. I like me some uh orchestras. I like me some R&B. I like some rock. Some hard metal is fine. But it just I kind of need some it kind of needs to reflect a taste of the moment or a way where it's like I can listen to this, but I don't feel like it's bombarding me so heavily that it's going to ruin me. And sometimes loud music isn't exactly something I go straight for as my favorite type of music, so it's okay, but I don't necessarily like it all that much. It, it this is an asterisk one again, but I'm saying no. Do you like to dance? I mean, I would like to dance, but professionally, no. Or just no. I guess not. I never really cared much for dancing all that much. I even with the concerts or the school the school little dance cycles or something. You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. Yep, 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 yep. But I never really cared much for dancing all that much. Now I'll dance when nobody's looking or like do a little jig or something maybe to keep keep me pumping or so, but not necessarily like dance like enjoy like casual dancing or something like that. So, would you consider yourself normal? Hell no. Absolutely not. Do you love your parents? Of course I do. I have good parents. They may not be perfect. They may have some quirks that might not always feel normal, but I know they love me. We are in good relations. I love helping them out. They love helping me out. We are in a good area that could be better, but at least in a unit with between me, my parents, my sister, everything. We're good. We are good. I'm not going to repeat that, Zero. But sure, sure. Have you ever been lied to? Yes, I've been lied to. I mean, everyone. There is. Yes, I have a sister, an older sister. She is where my niece comes from. Uh, anyways. No, she is not. But I'm hard pressed to say my niece could be. It all depends on. Oh god, it all depends these days. Oh jeez, I was starting to freak out a little bit when my niece was starting to show us pictures of some costumes that she wanted to actually try out for Halloween. Uh, it wasn't necessarily a cat, but it was like definitely something I think that comes from the furry community. So she has your knees. She has my knees. What? I don't know what that means. Or niece. I'm trying to say niece. Have you ever been lied to? Yes, but like I was saying, that's like that should be a common affair. I don't think I have ever met anyone. I don't know anyone who would only ever tell truths. If they say so, they're lying. Does your niece enjoy Gargura? Can she Ilu speak? Thankfully, not the second one, and I have no idea about the first one. But yes, I know I have been lied to. In fact, I know a specific thing, which is not really anything heinous or so, but it's technically a I've been lied to. I had a best friend who had been lying to me for 7 years or more about a certain situation he was in. But again, nothing horrible about it. I mean, it was a surprise when he finally revealed it to me and another friend of ours. But we were, of course, all supportive of it. Nothing wrong with it. What the part that made me feel negative about it, which is just me, and it's not really anything towards him, is that he told the truth about what he lied to us for 7 years to another friend that I'm not necessarily, that's kind of a on again, off again. Sometimes I hate him, sometimes he's okay, and I understand him. He told that person the truth a few years prior, which now explains some of the crude jokes that he would do on our lying, truthful friend half the time. It's making me, could you stop saying that shit? What the fuck is wrong with you about that? Until I realized, oh, now it all makes sense. And yeah, I can't believe he told that one compared to me and the other guy who I would think we would be more faithful in holding to that truth. And thank you. But anyways, that's superficial. Like I said, that's like a lie that it's not necessarily anything like I'm holding a grudge or anything too. But I have been lied to by various other people. I know that much. I can't go back. I can't go back. I just said no when I said when I meant to say yes. Ah. Can't go back. I can't go back. I am very tempted to just go back and redo all this now. This is why you pay attention. You know what? I'm sorry. One moment, guys. What? Wait, no. Ah, no. I thought this. Ah! 1 second. I did not expect the escape button to actually be an answer bar. Now I really fucked that up. Oh my god. Oh my god. Play. Open. All right. 1 second, everybody. I'm gonna speed run through this. Yes. 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 Spawn action asses. This is psychic. This isn't personality test. Simple truth. Simple nature. This is you. Doodly doo. Doodly doo. Doodly doodly doo. Doodly doo doo. Doo 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 doo. Now tempting the create your own. Invite you. Blah blah blah. Here we go. Okay. So, do you treat fairly? Yes. Do you believe that everyone should be treated? Yes. Have you ever invented anything? No. Do you believe that you are worthy? Yes. Would you consider yourself open-minded? Yes. Would you say that you sometimes have trust issues? I'm saying yes this time. Would you be alright with living alone forever? No. Do you always give someone the benefit of the doubt? Yes. Do you dislike the sound of your own voice? Yes. Do you like the color blue more than black? Yes. If you found money on the street and knew who it belonged to, would you give it back to them? Yes. Are you sure you want the answers you seek? No. Are you afraid of spiders? Yes. If you knew you would emerge unscathed, would you jump into molten lava? No. Would you consider yourself to be fat? Yes. Would you say that you have lots of charisma? No. Have you ever wished you could be temporarily frozen? No. This is all very interesting. Do you realize that the last Spain? I'm saying no just so that I'm staying with what I was doing, but now I did. Does that make you feel uncomfortable? Yes. Are you good at finding hidden puzzles or clues? Normally. Are you now wondering what other hidden? Yes. Have you been entirely honest? Yes. Are you afraid of the consequences? No. Were you aware of there being consequences? No. Are you wondering how the questions begin to get straight turn? Yes. Would you consider yourself captivated? Yes. Very interesting. Would you consider yourself to be brave? No. Do you view yourself as someone with an above yes. Have you been looking for hidden messages in these questions? No. Are you wondering which hidden messages you have missed? Yes. Have you begun to wonder how long this test will take? No. Would you consider yourself a patient man? Yes. No. Yes. Do most humans annoy you? Yes. Do you prefer animals to people? Yes. Do you believe in magic? Yes. Do you believe in God existence? Yes. A higher existence, anyways. Do you fear death? Yes. Are you attracted to somebody you're not currently in a relationship with? No. Did you answer the last one honestly? Yes. Are you alone? No. If I told you with the utmost certainty that there is someone watching you? Yes. Have you wondered who I am? No. Have you had shivers at any point? No. Do you feel like you're being watched? Yes. Have you considered quitting the session early? No. Do you drink water every day? Yes. Do you eat at least once per day? Yes. Do you realize there's a high probability that you miss? Yes. Are you wondering what they are? Yes. Would it bother you if you knew? Yes. Is your favorite number 7? Yes. Life is short, but it's the longest thing we'll ever do. Do you agree? Yes. Oranges cannot be compared to apples. Do you agree? Yes. Venus is sometimes referred to as the morning star. Did you know that? Yes. Everyone deserves a second chance. Do you agree? No. You can do anything you put your mind to. Do you agree? Yes. Obedience is more important than freedom. Do you agree? No. Underwater adventures sound like a fun time. Do you agree? No. Did you realize that the first letters of the previous 8 questions spelled the phrase, I love you? No. Do you wish to be loved? Yes. Have you ever felt hated? Yes. Do you have any addictions? I guess no. Do you dislike the color pink? No. Does the color gray seem depressing? Yes. Do you enjoy loud music? No. Do you like to dance? No. Would you consider yourself normal? No. Do you love your parents? Yes. Have you ever been lied to? Yes. There we go. Now we're back. Okay. Whew. Alright. We're still on, right? Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, so where do we leave off? Do you get angry often? Video games, yes. But seriously, getting angry often, just like in real life situations? No. I don't feel like I have that high of a temperament. Somebody would have to really piss me off, like, in such a way that I could not hold it in. But no, I don't believe I get angry that often. Do you hold grudges? I am holding at least one grudge right now. And that is mostly because I am not liking the situation that occasionally happens to one of my friends, towards somebody else. The best way to describe it is there was a chance for me to be roommates with two of my best friends, but I didn't have the finances at the time to really be able to put my money into that. So one of them had another friend that they worked with that they vouched for was being a very chill person. And for the most part, it seemed like that was the case. I liked the guy's company. I thought he was a cool guy. But then I started getting the sense that my friends were starting to really hate this man. And it got to a point where I was starting to see it too. And especially to some of his mannerisms and personality traits, choices. It started to get that the real side of this person was really starting to get aggravating. And to the point that when it finally came time to them moving out from where they were staying, this person really pissed them off so much that I started realizing, okay, this guy was not the person I expected, or not as chill as I thought, and really screwed them over. So, and that should have just been the end. They should have just parted ways. But apparently there's now a situation where that person is now apparently trying to get help from one of my friends. And I don't know why he acquiesces to this when we all know we should not even be talking to this person anymore. So, and I don't know if that's really the extent of a grudge, but that's kind of my feeling. I feel like, what are you doing? Get the fuck away from us. That kind of mentality. Like, I really don't know why this person is hanging around with us. If there's a different grudge I could hold, would be to a bully I had a long time ago, but that was like years ago, and I haven't really seen him anymore these days, and he's probably changed his ways at this point. So, I don't know. I mean, I do hold a grudge. I probably hold another grudge here and there, but nothing to like the extent of like mattering all that much or interesting stories or so. But I am going to be honest. I feel like I do have a grudge or two that I'm holding. Have you ever forgiven someone? Yes. In fact, in regards to bullies, there were two back in my day in elementary school where they would torment the shit out of me to the point where I almost was on the verge of well, tried to hurt myself, honestly. In the stupidest ways, not in like the more seriously, no, I could have actually tried to hurt myself that way to hospital, just like, but it was to a point that it really bothered me. But as time went on, uh, we ended up not, they ended up not harassing me all that much. In fact, near the end, graduating from elementary school, I do remember that these particular individuals actually came up to me, apologized, and we kind of all managed to. So YouTube doesn't demonetize you. On the verge of inflicting self forever sleep. Kind of, yeah. Uh, yeah, we ended up kind of hashing it out in speech. We saw eye to eye. They apologized. We were all cool. All's good. And as far as I know, other than that, that's really the only time I could ever see myself having to forgive anyone. But yeah, I have forgiven someone because they were being sincerely legit about it, and I hope they're doing well these days. Haven't seen them in a long time, but yeah. Have you ever done something that you knew you shouldn't have done, but still did it anyway? Probably everything in my childhood. Or up to adulthood, but I don't think there's anything special to talk about there. I am pretty certain of this, that this is a truth. Have you ever lied? Yes, like I said, it's kind of human nature. It's the nature of most beings that we must lie in some form or matter. You cannot always give truths. Sometimes a lie is necessary. It's how you use the lie that you need to be careful of, let alone how you use the truth. Have you ever cheated on a test? Oh, come on. Yes, of course I've cheated on a test before. I'm not proud of it. There were just some tests where I was just underprepared for something, and I would have the occasional eye glances to see if somebody who was smarter than me might have put down an answer that I probably should recommend. I didn't do it as often. I'm not that stupid. And I regret those moments, after all. But yeah, I have at least once or twice cheated on a test. I have to be honest with that. You won't cheat this test. Will I? Man, I don't know how I can. Do you think flowers are more beautiful than trees? No. I think there is more beauty in trees than most people would give. Flowers are pretty, but I think certain trees, certain breeds of those, can just be as beautiful. The cherry blossom, for one. Short-lived as they are in seasons, I love cherry blossom trees. They are just fucking beautiful. Yeah, I love those. Have you ever wanted to be an animal instead of a person? That's absolutely positively. Meow. Do you believe you have psychic powers? No, I don't believe I have psychic powers. I believe a friend of mine does, because there had been a string of moments throughout the last several years or so where I would be thinking something, and then not 10 seconds later, my friend would suddenly say exactly what I'm thinking. And the joke would always be, "Stop reading my mind!" But awesome that we're thinking the same thing. And seriously, it's moments where it's not just simply we're all experiencing something at the same time. That, yeah, of course, that would be something we'd be thinking. There would be moments where I'm thinking something that I don't think anybody else would be thinking, and yet he would say it out loud, and it's like, oh my god, how are we fucking on the same link here? That's just a sign of a best friend, at least. Or he's psychic and reads my mind. He is a Jedi. Wait, can Jedi read thoughts? I I don't. Well, I mean, there are other psychic powers than just reading thoughts. Never mind. Never mind. But no, I do not believe I have psychic powers. Have you ever seen a ghost? I want to say maybe, but honestly, I can't really think of any time I have actually seen a real ghost. Sometimes I feel like I'm around ghosts. I always like to complain at work that whenever something weird happens, it's ghosts. Always ghosts. But no, I have not actually seen a real ghost, as much as part of me wants to almost say I wish I did, and yet at the same time say, no, I hope I never do. Do you dream often? Yes, I do dream often. Do you have nightmares often? No, I do not have nightmares often. I did a long time ago, thanks to a certain Jabberwocky. And then after that, to Sadako and the other gal from The Grudge and The Ring and such. But no, not as often anymore. I have thankfully not had too many nightmares. Although it's hard to tell if I can even remember. I mean, most nightmares you can kind of remember because they're the most intense ones to to have at the last minute, but like I don't remember having too many bad dreams. I just remember that a long time ago with the stupid Jabberwocky from the Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass ABC specials, the two-parter that would premiere, where it would end with Alice being chased by it, and then it would start exactly where it is in part two. Occasionally see a knight fight it, and then the big birthday bash where it looks like all is well until she opens her giant present and a Jabberwocky appears and scares the shit out of me. The damn thing haunted me for 2 years. That much I remember. But then I finally had a dream where it looks like it was like we were leaving town off a coastal area. Jabberwocky tries to start running up from me as I'm looking out the back of the car, and it can't catch up. And I'm waving, bye bye, bye bye. It goes out of my lane. It goes, not the one I saw. There are variations that can look cute, I will admit, but not the one in my fucking nightmares. God. And I know that I think I looked back and actually saw what it looked like now from that show, and I could see that it kind of looks like crap. But the way the lighting is, the mood, the music, I think it hit my adolescent brain hard that it kept me up a lot at night. And it made me had nightmares where occasionally I think I may even had a paralysis dream at one time. Because I remember being in my bed, unable to move, and I'm suddenly seeing my door slowly open, and something dark, big, with a red eye moving towards, trying to enter my room. That was a scary piece of shit back then. Ugh. Man. I'm so glad I don't have those dreams anymore. And if I did, oh boy, Mr. Jabberwocky, I've grown up. And I've grown up to be something very strange and disturbing. I don't think you want to deal with me anymore. Don't you fucking dare say I would ever think of it lewd. Never, never that one. It looks like a weaver, like it's a giant bat. Yeah, it kind of looked like that, sure. Anyways, the issue is, no, not often, not anymore. I've had dreams where it's been confusing and disorienting. I wouldn't say they are nightmares. And I do get nightmares, just not as often. And it has to be like during something like this. Do you suffer from anxiety attacks? Yes, I do. Not frequently, but I have had them. I've had them at work. I've had 2 or 3 in this very house. But the situation is that either I lost a family member or something tragic happened that nearly tore things apart, or just having a really horrible string of events happening all at once that I just could not deal with. I have had them before. I don't know if I actually suffer from them constantly. Actually, I don't know. It says suffer from anxiety attacks. I've had them, but it's not like I have them frequently. So I'm guessing that's really the real question to this. Do I actually suffer? No, I guess not. I've had them, but I don't suffer from them. Not often. I feel like I should, but... Do you suffer from depression? Yes. Yes, I do. I mean, there is too much crap going on right now for me to ever feel like a real sense of true joy. But I will have moments where, and it happens more frequently, so yeah, I know I do have it. I'm not diagnosed, but I feel like I have it. Do you exercise often and stay active? I try, but Not really. Not recently. Not right now. Is there a particular type of food that you despise? Yes. Although you say type of food, so are you just saying like breads, grains, fruits, vegetables, meats, fish? Liver. I hate liver. But that's part of meat, and I like other meats. Well, not all meats. I'm still gonna say yes. Would you consider yourself emotionally wounded? I think I answered yes last time because I brought up some situations where it has happened. But I don't know if that really applies to me these days. I'm gonna say no. I don't think I really consider myself emotionally wounded. It's like, I think the only time that that's really actually happened to me is that I thought I was getting into a relationship with somebody online. I thought it was going somewhere, and then suddenly that person just completely ghosted me. Either ghosted me or something happened and I'll never know, but this person just disappeared, never to be seen from again. I have no idea if it was something I said, if there was something going on, if our interests just suddenly no longer aligned. I don't know. And it was one of those moments where I really felt like there was something there. I might push something, I don't know. It's the haunting consequence I will never know of what was done that hurts me. All I know is that if I don't know. That was a while back. That was a while back. I don't think I'm considered emotionally wounded now. I mean, I don't feel like I have that kind of. I mean, can the scar carry over? I don't know. No, no. Have you ever felt betrayed? Yes, with what I was just talking about. I mean, again, I don't know if it was a circumstances, but unless I ever get an answer, I do kind of feel like it, unfortunately. Uh, yeah. Do you ever feel lost in life? Yeah, I do. I mean, shit. I mean, I can act all goofy and stuff on stream as much as I want, but when it comes to trying to actually pay off some debts, actually try to figure out how to move out, figure out what the fuck I actually really want to do or what I want to pursue or how to just feel like I'm gonna succeed in this fucked up world right now, I don't know, honestly. I don't know. I really don't know. So, yeah. Would you consider yourself a natural leader? No, I don't. I'm more of a follower. I I do not feel like I could be a natural leader. Not at all. If you could push a button to destroy the world, would you press it? Look, I hate the world right now, but I'm not that crazy to just destroy it. I live here too, and I want to continue living a little longer. And I wouldn't do that to friends and family or so, or people, actually good people. No, I would not destroy the world. Absolutely not. Do you sometimes dream of being a hero? Well, yeah. Yes, I do. Have you ever been bullied? I just brought it up. Yes, I was. Hell, there's even another time where there was a worse case in middle school, where somebody and his cronies decided to pick specifically on me almost every fucking day, to the point where it just finally got to a breaking point where I finally actually went to a teacher who, thankfully, in this case, actually did work for me in a positive way, where it actually did stop. The person finally left me alone. So I know it doesn't work for everybody. I know there's sometimes consequences could happen, but thankfully, in my situation, it actually went in the way that it should, where actually getting an adult to help out to talk about this stuff actually worked. Bully finally let me go, and like again in the same situation, has gone off to do other things, barely bothered to me. In fact, probably chatted once or twice during high school, and went on his own way. So, but yes, I have been bullied. Have you ever bullied someone? I would say no. I mean, no, I've never bullied anyone. One friend, I feel like I might have crossed a line at points, but he never really said anything to me in some of the way I just would goofily treat him back then. But I always make a habit that if I ever felt like I've done anything, or if there's something that I may have treated him like back then, that I always apologize and like, please let me know if I ever cross a line. And I try desperately, and I try, of course, to never repeat those. I'm an adult now. Obviously, things have changed, and of course, I don't get more respectful, but I don't think it's ever crossed to a line where I was bullying him. It was just kind of a weird dynamic between me and this friend, where he pretended to kind of be like a servant for a little bit. I don't know what the fuck was going on back then. It was weird. It was just weird. But no, I don't think I've never actually bullied anyone. Would you consider yourself to be a dreamer? Absolutely. Do you sometimes hurt people's feelings unintentionally? Yes. I do feel like it's happened, and I feel like in some past our roleplay sessions with a couple of friends I know, I feel like I've done it. At one point where a long time ago I may have been the reason why somebody decided to completely kill off their character because they felt like they were and I feel like that's me being part of it, but not the full reason. But then there's other ones where I just, as much as I wanted to try to keep continuing things, shit happened in my life, depression hit me, and I could not find any other way to really continue certain things, and I kind of ended up hurting some people's feelings, I feel like, in that. They'd probably say otherwise, maybe one or two of them, but. And there are just other people in my life where I know I've probably, as best I try to keep my promises or try to do something to help out, I feel like there have been times I know I've probably hurt somebody unintentionally. And I am sorry for those moments, but yeah, that's being honest with myself there. Do you find space fascinating? No. Space is nice, but not as fascinating as like a specific YouTuber would. Would you consider yourself to be an artist? I'd say no, but that would be a lie. I feel like yes. Obviously, for those of you who actually see my other works than just the video game streams I do, and warning for those, that's for a specific niche. Uh, I do. I do a lot of artwork. I've done it for many years. I wish I could keep up with it a lot more these days. I just feel like I need to find a new variety, or I need my muse to kind of help me reinvent what I do, because I don't always want to keep doing the same adult things often. But it is the more fascinating ones. But yes, yeah. Anyways, yes, I do consider myself to be an artist, and thank you, Hex. Would you consider yourself to be a good friend? Despite the contrary of the unintentional stuff and the other things, I do consider myself to be a good friend because I know that if all possible, I will help out those that need my help. I have helped out people regardless if it's financially. I have helped people who just needed company. One of my friends, what the major thing that I know that this is definitely true is that when one of my friends suffered a major loss and I immediately got a call from another friend to tell me about it, I dropped everything I was about to do and I went straight to make sure that I was being with my buddy to keep them company, make sure they were doing all right, if they just make certain that I was there for them. And I would do it for any of my other friends as much as I can. The level of how much commitment, I don't know, depending on the situation, but I would do everything I can, whenever possible, to be a good friend. Yes, yes. Would you consider yourself to be flawed? Despite everything? Yes, I still consider myself to be flawed. I feel everyone is flawed. We have flaws. We cannot be perfect. There is no way any of us can be perfect. Have you ever fantasized about being a supervillain or performing a heinous, egregious crime? Yes, but let me, once again, only fantasized. And it's just like weird ass moments where it's the only way I could take out my frustrations in certain moments. Or it's just these weird scenarios where it may devolve into something that might be considered part of this, but not something I would actually ever do. Because most of it is fantasy. Absolute pure fantasy. But I will admit that yes, I have fantasized about this for comedic reasons or for just wondering how certain scenarios could play out. A lot of it is all kind of like theatrical too, like I fantasize doing a heinous crime that might involve me being more than I would ever be. Like it would have to be like out of a fucking movie or a video game for any of this shit to ever fucking happen. And that's even if I ever went that far, which I never would in real life. So, don't worry, this cat's not planning to try to take over the world or commit any actual real murders or anything like that. Never gonna happen. I'm not that crazy. But yes, I will admit I have fantasized. Do you believe in perfection? No. We are all flawed. There is no such thing as perfection. Have you ever stolen from someone? Now, if we're talking about back in my youth, yes. Lately, no. No. But again, once again, this is an ambiguous question. I have stolen when I was a kid. Once again, can't say I'm proud of it, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but I know it's happened. I probably stolen like little tidbits here and there or something like that. where it wasn't like anything that was going to cause any major consequences or so, just irritate them. That's it. But yeah, I have. Would you ever kill someone under any circumstances? Okay, this one was a bit confusing when I first answered this question. Because originally I was going to say yes, but I wasn't reading this correctly. It said under any circumstances. That means it doesn't necessarily have to be how I was originally viewing it, as if somebody is planning to harm anyone I care about, or strictly going to try to harm me in any way that was going to be, they didn't care about my life or anybody else. They were just going to just gank me or shoot me or anything like that and think nothing of it. If that was how it was going to be, if I had a chance to defend myself, and if I knew that this person was going to just keep doing this with no remorse at all, that would be the circumstance of where I would say yes, I would kill someone. To protect somebody I care about, to protect other people who could get in harm's way from these kind of people? Yes, I would do so. But this is under any circumstances, and I'm not certain if it's actually applying, like, well, it doesn't have to be that moment. It could just be, do you just want to kill something for the hell of it? Are you that crazy in the membrane? No, I am not that crazy. I would not just do that. I'm only thinking about the scenarios where it would be, there is no other way around it. It has to be done. And I've had these questions happen in games too, where he answered that if there's no way around it, if you can't get this person to get talked down, if killing is the only way, then unfortunately it's the only way. It's not something I would want to do, but if I have to, I have to. But again, this is, would you ever kill someone under any circumstances? Would I still be saying yes after admitting that I would if the circumstances that I just mentioned applied? Or are we talking about not just that, but also just for the hell of it, or blah, blah, blah? I don't know how to really answer this without feeling like I could be giving a bad answer. Under any circumstances, under any. Like I said, the threatening, defending my loved ones, that would be the circumstance. I think I have to answer yes, right? Because I just admitted it. In defending somebody, a creep, who has no morals at all and is just planning to keep doing this again, if it means protecting somebody I care about, or my own life, that I know was going to get taken away, that I was going to get killed myself, if I could not find any other means to keep this person down, yes, I could kill if it came to it. I would try to subdue and maybe hopefully get the cops to take care of it first. But if there was no way around it, if this would be the only sure thing to keep everybody safe, yes, I would. So yeah, I guess that would be the part of the any circumstances, wouldn't it? If you had one day to live, would you tell anyone? Yes, I have. Last time I debated this, but the answer was yes. I would not keep this from anybody, because I would be devoiding my family and friends the chance to actually then tell me whatever they needed to tell me, do whatever they wanted to do before my time was up. I would want to be, and I would not want them to just be surprised that there's a dead corpse in the bedroom the next day and wonder, what the fuck happened? He was doing fine all day yesterday. We barely got the time, blah, 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 and all that shit. It's like, I don't want that to ever fucking happen, so. as much as it would be easier to just say no, to just continue the day on, and I could still do all the stuff to spend my last days being with everybody, but not letting on that this was the last day and just make it all normal so that they didn't have to be worried and all that stuff. No, I feel like I would be taking away their opportunity to do any final things they would want to do with me before it ended. Because who knows, there could be something they wanted to say or do that they didn't have a chance to do or were planning to do later. So yeah, it's like I don't want to take the chance. I would tell someone. Have you ever told your darkest secrets to someone? No. Would you smash Markiplier? Yes or no? No. I have not told any darkest secrets to. Well, I mean, unless you're talking about what I'm doing today. But no. I don't really have that many darkest secrets. Not to be perfectly honest. And I think most of the things I've talked about to most people, you all probably know, or at least most of you probably already know. But I don't really have any bigger, darkest secrets to begin with. Well, then, wouldn't that actually mean that yes, I have told? Because anything that would be considered a darkest secret, I have already pre-mentioned. I guess you could kind of say, if you want, I did have a dark secret. That was me being into anthropomorphic animals, or furries. And I said that to the on again, off again, I hate you, I respect you friend, while he was kind of drunk, I believe. So, consequence of that is that I don't think he remembered anything from that night, but I did actually say it out loud to his face when he was prodding me about my relationships and all that stuff. Or who I valued in, or who I find attractive, or anything like that, so. I don't remember exactly what the whole question was in that, but I guess that would be the closest to having told my darkest secret to someone, so. Sure. Do you trust me even though you know nothing about me? No, I don't. Do you know who I am? No! Well, I know who you are. If I appeared behind you right now, would you scream? If you were to physically pop behind me, where I have a mini fridge right next to me, if you were standing right on top of this, if you would just suddenly appear out of the blue, yes, I would scream, because I would be, how the fuck did you get in my room? If I told you that I've been behind you this entire time, would that scare you? No, because I know you're not real. Of course not. That would be silly. Now, wouldn't it? Would you consider yourself to be pathetic? Yes. Would you consider yourself to be romantic? I still say yes. Have you ever been in a physical fight? Dude, looks like Nigel Thornberry. Have you ever been in a physical fight? No. The only fight I've ever been in that wasn't really much of a fight is that same off again, on again, I hate him, I respect him friend. I was in a bad mood that day, and I don't know what prompted this, but he, for some reason, was removing in middle school at the bike rack locker where I had just removed my lock, or he removed my lock. He was lifting my bike up, and for some reason that prompted me to just start trying to pummel him in his sides. Now, despite me trying to go full force, I barely did anything. It was like a tickle to him. It's like, just, he had this look of, what the fuck are you doing, man? But unfortunately, a crossing guard, or one of the volunteer guards or so, saw this happening, and I guess I mentioned how I I did not like how he was trying to take my bike or whatever it is. But he also saw that I was the one doing the punching. So we both ended up somehow getting detention when I should have been the only one who got detention at that point, because I have no idea what the fuck I was doing. I was just pissed off today, and I wanted to punch something. But that was barely a fight. That was barely a fight at all. A real physical fight is that I am punching and taking blows or anything like that. To where it was actually I was either defending myself or I started the actual fight and I actually did some real damage. Otherwise, that was just me throwing a hissy fit, honestly. So, no, I have not been in a physical fight. Are you prone to headaches or migraines? No, thankfully. Do you look at the ground when you walk? Yes. Yes, I do. Are you attracted to the opposite sex? Yes. Yes, I am. Would you ever shave your head? Not unless I was forced to. No. Are you attracted to muscular bodies? Everyone, I'm sorry. I think the buff can be fine. An athletic tone person, I can still be attracted to. But like the big buff Hulk bodies, no, I'm not. So, no. No. It's cool. It's cool if you are. And I'm not saying you're not beautiful regardless of my thoughts. You be you. You flaunt it. I'm just not that attractive. Hard-hitting questions. Do you ever dance when no one is looking? Yes. At work. Even though there's now cameras up, so someone could always watch it, but usually I dance a little bit. Like do a little jig or something when I'm hyper or pumped up or something. Do you trust your best friend entirely? Yes. Other than the one thing he lied to me about, that is very superfluous, I trust that friend of mine absolutely. Comparison. The so-and-so friend. No, I hate the way he fucking drives. I feel like he's gonna run us off the goddamn road half the time with him being so sporadic with how he accelerates. My other friend, the very patient to a fault, where it could be annoying friend, I trust him a little bit, but he has some jerkiness sometimes that makes me worried a little bit. But I trust him enough to get me to point A to point B, just always be on the alert. My best friend, however, I can fall asleep in his car while he's driving because I trust him that much. I could feel tired and actually fall asleep and suddenly be told that we're here. It's like, wait, what? Really? How long has it been out? Yeah. That's how much I trust him. Do you remember your childhood extremely well? No, not really. I mean, there are bits and pieces, but not really that well. I don't remember anything. I had to be told that I nearly cracked my head open falling down a flight of stairs once when I was a baby or an infant or so. And I know that's far too weird, yeah, but it's like again, there's only bits and pieces. God damn it, talking so much causes congestion, man. Ah. Would you rob a bank if you could get away with it? No. I still wouldn't. Do you remember the 21st night of September? Yes or no? Do you ever dream about running from a killer? I've had those dreams, yes. Freddy Krueger, Sadako, other things, other monsters. Do you ever dream about falling off a cliff? I have had those a few times. Not a lot. Do you ever dream about being naked in public? Yes. Oh, Lord, yes. Nothing lewd or anything, just like it's those awkward moments where I feel like it's about to happen. I feel like I'm finally letting the animal out. But then suddenly somebody will show up, like a family member or so, and it'll just make things awkward, and I can't for some reason get my clothes on. I'm trying to run away, but I keep running into other things and other people. It's like, oh God, what's happening? But yes, I've had them. Do you enjoy scary movies or books? Yes, I do. Do you enjoy comedic television shows or movies? Yeah, I still do. Not a whole lot of them, but I do. Do you like being the center of attention? God, no. Do you feel like something is always watching you? Okay, now other than right now, do I feel like I'm always being watched regardless? Yes, actually, I do. Sometimes I do feel like there's some weirdo watching me from afar, or there's always this strange feeling like I am being watched. I don't know by who, I don't know by what, but sometimes it does feel like that. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to go to space? Yeah, I have wondered. I'm not interested, but I have wondered. Have you ever had an out-of-body experience? Maybe. Maybe. I do remember this one dream back during the era of the Jabberwocky nightmares, where I had a sleepover in my house. Everybody was in the same room. I was on the floor near a couch, and then I don't know if I was dreaming or having an experience, but all of a sudden I remember I was above myself. The world is spinning as I'm coming slowly back down. I do feel like there was kind of a boom, 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 kind of nightmarish kind of theme happening background that made this feel a little bit scary. But I do remember having this moment where I could actually see myself and my friends who were sleeping around me. So it's like it was picture perfect. So I feel like, yes, I think I have had an actual out of body experience once. Okay, and here's the joke questions. Have you ever punched a nun? No. Do you like dogs better than cats? No. Meow. But that doesn't mean I don't like dogs. I still like dogs. I think they're fun. I feel like I'd be more comfortable around cats. They're they could be chiller than a dog that could be over hyperactive and get right in your face half the times. Do you prefer to read more than you prefer to watch movies? No, though I do miss being able to sit down to read. I just feel like I don't have time to read shit anymore. Movies just they're easier to digest. Even if sometimes it might not be the movie may not be quite as faithful to the adaptation of the book. I don't know. Are you still wondering why I asked you if you ever punched a nun? I wasn't, but you're making me. Do you get starstruck easily? No, not really. Do you hate going to big parties and social gatherings? Yes. Unfortunately, I do, and it's probably because of an experience I had a long time ago where I was invited with the so and so friend and the others to go to this one party. I think we knew the guy, but boy, did he have a specific idea of a party. I'm pretty certain there were some no things that a minor should not be having, and there were no things happening. And there was even a no thing that nearly happened to me to a point where I got so uncomfortable, I actually did rush out of the house, out of their house, and I wanted to leave. I'm sorry. I am not a party guy. I am not that mature. I was not that highly susceptible to wanting to be an adult right away, nor was I comfortable with some of the mannerisms and events that were going on. I just wanted to leave. Pissed off the so-so guy, but fuck him. He should have known better that I did not care for that kind of shit. I was not that mature or ready for that kind of experience. And thankfully I wasn't the only one who felt that same way either. But I just really hate big crowds. And I think that's part of the reason why I don't attempt to try to go to some of these cons or furry or comic or video game or related. I like smaller gatherings. I like being with the gatherings of friends that I have. I feel like I am the representation of the one Alicia Cara song, I'll Be Over Here. Whoa, here. Whoa, here. I apologize. So, yes, I do. Is your favorite part of your birthday receiving presents? No, not even back then. It was fun to get presents. Obviously, I would have fun with them, but being around the friends that I wanted to be around with, having the cakes and desserts and the pizzas, and whatever the events we were doing with the movies or the laser tag, if that was available, or mini golf or anything like that, those were the best part of my birthdays. The presents was there, awesome if I got what I wanted, but the presents were not the main thing I liked about my birthday, so I am being honest with that. Seriously though, have you ever punched a nun? Like, really, just bam, right in the face. Nun punch. No. Did you laugh? Yes. Did you say, what the fuck, in your head or even out aloud? No, I did not. Are you now eager to somehow get the opportunity to punch a nun sometime soon? No. If there's a hell, do you think you're going to it? Damn straight I am. Do you enjoy fantasy fiction games? Yes. Do you do the naughty to yourself frequently? Are you wondering what constitutes frequently? Yes. Are you more than slightly uncomfortable right now? Yes. Is your mouth dry? No, not really. Does profanity make you uncomfortable? No, not as much as it should these days. Do you believe in legendary beasts such as the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot? No, I subscribe to the belief of the Arororori, the flying Arororori, however you pronounce it. I think that's supposed to be something related to Inscription. When I do have to, I have to play. I dropped the ball on that one, but I think it was related to that because I know part of it's a card game, and I have seen some of the aesthetics. But yeah, apparently there was a video about Mark apparently describing about the flying, which I'm guessing is part of his Inscription gameplay. My God, there's like 5 people that played that game, and I have not watched shit from it yet. I hate putting videos aside because I want to actually experience them first. I'm missing out on a lot of shit. But in truth, I believe in some legendary beasts. Not maybe the Loch Ness Monster, maybe Bigfoot, werewolves, other things. Yes. Are you poor with money management? Yes. Choose one of these numbers that you feel resonates with you most this very moment. 1, 7, 11, 13, 21, 69. But, 7 still resonates with me. Choose one of these colors that you feel resonates with you most in this very moment. Blue, green, red, purple, gray, black. Still blue. Now these words. This one threw me off. It's like, really? Wicked, sick, plagued, wretched, toxic, vile. The only one that's felt
All of this felt bad, but wretched was the only one that popped out. Now one of these words that feel resonates with you this very moment. Blessed, glorious, divine, angelic, heavenly, celestial. Blessed, it was the only one that fit me. Because sometimes I do feel like I've been blessed in my life that it could have gone a whole lot worse, but somehow I feel like I've been blessed by luck, which this being the next word of skill, strength, agility, intellect, charm. I feel like luck I've been blessed with luck that I managed to get through most of this shit. I do enjoy solving some mathematical puzzles from here and there. You speak more than one language fluently. I tried, but no, I don't. Have you ever visited a country other than your own? Mexico, I think, counts, right? You enjoy coffee. Not at the start. I do now. Do you believe in diamonds? Yes. Do you believe in angels? Not so much. Are you afraid of sharks? As much as I know that Shark Week has shown they're not exactly as dangerous as they're supposed to be, I'm still afraid of them. You prefer baths? Yeah, Mexico hasn't been annexed yet. Do you prefer baths over showers? No, I like to take baths, but I am in no position to have comfortable baths, let alone remember that baths don't exactly get you cleaned. Now, I would like to try what was suggested in a particular show that most people will not want to talk about, but an episode I watched was actually decent, where I would like to do the shower bath shower if I didn't fear running up the water bill. But no, I still prefer showers. Does the smell of perfume or cologne give you headaches? On its own, no. But if I were to go into one of those departments like SpongeBob, Cowboy Bebop, the live action. A friend of mine and his family was actually watching the show. I happened to show up as they were starting one episode regarding Jet and his partner trying to find, trying to clear Jet's name, while Spike and Faye are trying to one up each other on who had the best bounties, and Faye happens to mention something about, oh god, have you never taken a shower bath shower? It's the best thing ever. And then Spike later does it himself. It's like, oh my god, you were fucking right. That was the best thing ever. But yeah. No, it does not give me a right amount of it, like on somebody's body. No, it doesn't. But if like in one of those areas, like in SpongeBob and SquarePants, where they're running, SpongeBob and Patrick, where they're running, have to get out of the Dutchman's hold by going through the aisle and like getting bombarded with samples here and there. Yeah, sure, that would give me headaches, but by itself, no. Did you see a shadow move in your room a few moments ago? No, I did not. There is no fucking things. That's fortunate. Do you ever hear your name being called, even when you know no one is calling it? Yes, actually. In fact, it happened most recently. I could have sworn I was hearing my name being called while I was doing yard work, and this is with headphones on. I thought I heard my own mother calling me, but when I removed my headphones and I called back and I was waiting for a response, and then I went back into the house to say, what did you need? What did you need, Mom? And she's going, what are you talking about? It's like, well, didn't you just call me just now? It's like, no, no, I didn't. It's like, what? Those are creepy. When that shit happens, those are creepy. And unfortunately, they do happen sometimes. Do things in your home often go missing and then reappear later? Yes. Do you ever hear footsteps around you when you're alone? Not always, but yes. And that also terrifies me. Like, again, maybe it's the ghosts. that don't exist, or maybe it's just the flooring of the house creaking by the wind, or just settling or something. But sometimes I have heard noises that I can't explain. I hate them, and I can never seem to replicate them, or they always come and go like every few months or so before I hear them again. It does fucking scare me. Thankfully, nothing bad has happened yet, so, but I have heard it. Do you ever hear random knocking noises around you? Yes. But that could be explained by the wind, or a bird or something hitting the side of my house or something, or tapping at it or so. And then sometimes random knocking noises that I can't explain. Do you often look at the same time on the clock every day? I mean, if we're implying like, do I always constantly check the time for my alarms, or like when a certain time is happening, or blah blah blah, then yeah, sure. I think a lot of people do, but I don't know what that's supposed to imply. Have you ever felt your feet being grabbed at night while sleeping? Thankfully, no. That has never happened. Don't put. Do you have any pets? Alas, I have no pets. I cannot have a pet. And even if I were to eventually finally move out and get my own place, I don't know if I would immediately want to grab a pet just yet. I'm just not entirely certain if I could take care of one without being constantly keeping up with it, wanting to make certain it gets enough attention. And especially if I'm the one alone in the house and I have to go out to work where I don't have anybody who could keep an eye on my pet, I don't want to leave it alone and leave it to its own devices, to where it could either just be depressed the entire time, wondering where its human gut went, or go about tearing up my place. So, anyways, right now, no, I do not have any pets. The backyard cats from our neighbors is probably the closest that I have to pets, and they don't want to be around me. They won't run away from me immediately, and I'll be say, "Hi, how you doing? Don't worry, don't let me bother you. You lay down." And they'll watch me most of the time, but yeah, I haven't gotten them to trust me enough to want to actually come close and let me pet it or anything like that. Is your favorite color green? No, I would think that applying that I prefer blue over black, and that blue was the best color that resonate me, would be my favorite color. Now, I don't mind green. Emerald eyes on a specific kitsune of mine, I would absolutely adore. But as a color, no. Are you attracted to a family member? Oh, fuck no. Don't get me wrong. I think my sister is gorgeous. And I think my mother still looks nice. But attracted in the way I think they're implying? No. No, 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 no. You're not. No, no, no. No. Hell no. If you won the lottery, would you share the money with anyone? Yes. Yes, I would. There are plenty of people I would share my money with that I feel are just as deserving for it. So yes, I would not just keep it to myself. And some of it would go to charities as well. Yeah, no. That I would share the wealth. If you could be the dictator of your own country, would you accept the role? No. I'm not going to be living in fear of getting assassinated, thank you. Also, I would not even want to be a dictator. That no bueno. Do you ever wonder what it would be like to be in prison? I have had that thought, actually, yes. For, again, in the consequence fantasies of either doing something egregious or getting into a situation where somehow I'm being framed, or that I did something did something I didn't think would be considered a problem, but I would come of some abstract reason for why I would be sent to jail for it. I have thought about what it would be like to be in prison in those particular scenarios. Do you like fishing? No, not really. Do you like hunting? If I was an animal, probably yes, but as a person, no. Do you like camping? Alas, no. I've come to terms with the fact that I'll go camping from time to time with my friends, but I would need to have a lot of basic commodities and maybe preferably away from where the bugs are cuz I just cannot be around bugs. And I need a toilet. I need a toilet. I just oh god. One camping trip. No, my god. Do you like guns? Now, yes, but not like toting it around like I'm bearing my Second Amendment rights that heavily to where I'm an asshole about it. Like I like guns and some of their styles and how and some of the power they can do, mostly in games and stuff like that, but actually like wanting to own a gun, actually have one loaded, actually yeah, I mean the honest answer would be no. I actually don't really like guns, especially with how it's mostly used for. It's supposed to be for protection, but it has been misused so much that I have. The only reason I would love guns or like guns is how it's used in movies, video games, just being able to live out my fantasy of playing around with fantasy guns or anything like that. With my shoddy be my favorite guns and games. But no, in real life, I would not. Even if I were to own one, there would be no ammunition for it. Period. I'd use it as a club. But no, not really. Are you getting tired of answering questions? A little. Would you consider yourself to be kinky? I mean, regarding what I draw, what I write, would that be considered kinky? I would say yes. I don't flaunt it in public, but yeah, I'd say so. Eyes are the window to the soul. Eyes are the window to the soul. Do you agree? Yes. I have been able to actually get an idea of what people are feeling or thinking sometimes just by seeing the look of their eyes. I have. So, my intuition on that has usually been spot on. Not perfect, again, just most of the time I can kind of get a good idea of what somebody is thinking or feeling just by kind of looking into their eyes and just kind of getting a okay, figuring out how to interact with somebody from here. Not always perfect, not always great, but yeah. Do you always keep your promises? I like to believe that I do my best to keep my promises. But do I always keep my promises? No. Hell, just with the fact that I couldn't keep up with my scheduling. So no, not really. I I try to. I always try to. That's my first. I always try to do so, but I will admit, not always. Would you ever completely trust someone who's lied to you? Like I said, I would give them the most times I would try to give them the benefit of the doubt. And of course, in regards to the one friend, yes, I'd still trust them because the lie was not big deal or anything like that. But I I would still completely trust. Now if they fuck up again, that's a different story, but kind of going back to whole would you give them a second chance? Like I said, I would not give everyone a second chance, but I would give those I feel like if they mean well, actually realize they fucked up or they didn't mean to hurt me and really want to try again. And it's not something egregious or anything like they killed somebody or they're fucking monsters or anything like that. Like horrible people or anything like that. Then no. But I tried to completely trust somebody. I would, especially if they're a good friend that I know. Are you an only child? Nope, I have a sister. Do you ever enjoy being drunk? Now, yes, but I don't do it often because. So, actually, you know what? No, I don't enjoy being drunk. I enjoy the moment that I do get to try out some alcohol and be drunk on specific nights, but I don't enjoy it to the extent of that I do it frequently, that I'm an alcoholic. So, no, I'm actually going to say no to that. Do you like tattoos? No, but I have seen good artwork on certain bodies. It is artwork, and kudos to those who want to put the ink on their body for the rest of their life, regardless of if it starts to wear down to the point where it doesn't look exactly what it used to look like. But personally, no. No, I do not. Do you enjoy being high in any form? I'm gonna say no. I mean, technically that is slight. No, no, no. Even now, I have to actually be honest. No, I really don't. Do you believe you have a soul? I do believe. I want to believe. Did you cry this week? Not this week. Uh, not this week. No. Are you upset with someone right now? No, not. No. Uh, uh, no. No, I am not. Is there someone you're not being completely honest with daily? Absolutely. I'm not gonna say who. This is absolutely. Do you understand how this works yet? No. If you answer the questions twice, your truths may change. It's not just about answering the questions, it's about the time you spend answering them and the combination you answer them in. It's about many different variables you'd never guess. Do you understand? I do now, and oh shit, I wonder if the speed run to get back to where I left off, where I screwed up, is gonna count. Like, is it counting the time I'm doing this? Because that'll be a factor. But yes. Are you wondering if the end of the test is coming soon based on the previous question you just answered? Yes. If I were to tell you that this entire process was planted here for you, specifically you, to learn something about yourself than anyone else that bothers using this as just a byproduct for its intention, would you believe that? No, because this is anybody can buy this for $2. Are you afraid of being abandoned? Yes. Are you afraid of dying alone? Yes. Do you worry that one day you'll be unexpectedly murdered with how this world is going right now? Yes. Are you always on guard, waiting to fend off an attack? No. And that could be a scary thought of, why aren't I more? But I'm not exactly. At least in this context, I don't think so. Do you feel like I know you yet? Maybe. Have you heard any strange noises while answering these questions? Yes, actually, I have. Like a little while back, I thought I heard something knocking or so, and I don't know if that was the wind or not, but I did. I actually did. Oh, we're done. Okay. I think we have enough information about you. Whether you skipped questions, answered honestly or dishonestly, took loads of time to respond, or answer quickly without reading or understanding properly, I've been able to tell. Okay, shit. I wonder if it really is going to change things now. In fact, there might even be some things changed from answers I actually changed regardless. I'm calculating your results. I'm analyzing you very carefully. I'm judging you. Based on what you've told me, this is what I can conclude. One word describes you more than any other. That word is talented. Personally, I think you're more talented than you realize, and I think you're more talented than anyone else realizes as well. If you just spend a little bit less time out of your own head, you might get a lot further. You are by far your own worst enemy. You need to seriously cut that shit out and start trusting your natural talents and abilities more. No one knows you better than you. However, you must pay heed to this warning. You're way too overcritical of yourself at times, and it can lead to you breaking yourself down way further than you ever should. If you're not careful, you can ruin your entire potential to be successful in life just by not paying attention to when you need to self-reflect and when you need to give yourself the credit you deserve. Start being more positive. You'll do just fine. Please don't fall into any more self-made traps or self-fulfilling prophecies. Try to look at yourself in a more positive light and view yourself from a different perspective. You might be thinking that this is easier said than done. Let's be real here. What isn't easier said than done? The fact of the matter is, if you only knew what others saw when they look at you, you'd never doubt yourself ever again. Your secret word is talented. Remember this word. This will come in handy. Okay, I got a different ending this time, and, well, once again, I can't disagree with any of it. I mean, yeah, I think it does know me. Take that secret word that was assigned to you at the end of your session and leave it in the comment for us. We will be selecting some of you based on your answers to be included in a future project we're currently working on. Don't be afraid. This is an opportunity for you to be part of history. This is a chance for you to be part of something greater. Be sure to note your secret word in your comments. If you do not wish to be part of an upcoming project, simply leave your secret word out of your comments and we will select your name. Select out of your comments and we will not select your name. We appreciate any and all comments you leave and always read them thoroughly. Thank you for taking the time to answer these questions. I know they've been some help to you, and if they aren't yet, it will make sense very soon. Trust me on that. You can find The Test, Hypothesis Rising, The Test, Final Revelation, and The Testing Chamber on Steam if you enjoyed this installment. You can also find the Journey series, the Advisor series, the Advisor series, which we encourage everyone to try. If you'd like to support us further or try our other games, you can find a link to all of the titles on the title screen of this game under the section Our Other Games. Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate you. So, when I first did this, I actually got the blessing secret word. And that is most likely because I made some choices I changed this time around because after reflecting from the last time, I realized it didn't really fit this time. So it could be possible that a few questions I did answer differently this time got me to that route. It's also possible that because I restarted this and answered a bunch of the first half of the questions fast, may have also been an influence if the game was being honest with me on that. But yeah, last time I got the blessing ending, and give me a moment. I'm going to actually see what that said. I'm not going to go through it all I'm not going to go through it all and explain which ones I changed or so because I'm not going to, like I said, some of those I'm not entirely certain if I want to admit to anymore because they may not be reflective of me, but I just want to at least showcase or at least I'm not going to put it up on the screen either. I'm just going to read it out loud. Now that the last time I did this is what it originally said to me when I did my first slew of answers. People don't understand you completely, do they? You're a lot more complicated than people think you are. They don't give you enough credit because they can't understand what you've got going on deep inside. Waiting for the bit. Okay. You may not always like everything about yourself. You may even give yourself way too hard of a time. But trust me, you've got some natural talents that will take you very far in life. It's imperative that you embrace that fact. The only way you're going to fail is if you let the doubt of others pull you down. The only way you're going to fail is if you start believing what others may think of you. Do not let them win. You're one of a kind, truly remarkable. As a matter of fact, I get the sense that you don't even realize or understand just how special you can be. But ultimately, your path is entirely up to you. There's a strong possibility you're going to let it all slip away just as easily as you can become an incredibly successful star, but the results are yours for the taking. Not everyone has that luxury. You, however, do. So, my advice to you is to listen to your gut. Go out there and get the life you want to have. Do not live your days in regret. It is not yet too late. I believe in you. And I believe after that it said that my word was, oh, I just hope that you start believing in yourself and seeing your true self worth. Whatever your dreams are, whatever your goals are in life, double them. That's the minimum of what you're capable of accomplishing. Please don't squander your opportunities. And for the love of life, don't settle. Your secret word is blessing. So, yeah, so the first time I went through this, I actually got the ones for the blessing, I guess. And that one was felt partly true. I don't actually feel like most people who would be watching me or knowing me are actually wanting my downfall. I don't actually feel that way half the time. Maybe in regards to my own fears and doubts of like when I'm trying to continue writing my stories, like I get to a point where I'm not certain if this is going to fly with a lot of people or going to turn off and everybody's going to think differently of me or just not going to be entertaining enough that it's not going to be not necessarily popular but going to be like keep people's attention or think that I have any capabilities of being a good author or anything like that. I don't feel that much, but the other parts kind of do resonate with that. There is a sense I feel like I'm not doing a lot more to pursue my particular dreams or careers or so, or to actually push forward to wanting to actually get things done. And that I should really try to take the opportunity to just put more effort into it. I feel like that's what it's trying to say. Like, don't be scared to not put more effort into it. Double it and just see where it goes. Don't let it squander. The talent one's interesting. Like, I get it. That one's interesting as well. It's like I I kind of need to actually go back for a second. Like, I can do that, right? I can go back. Can I go back on my own? Uh, I thought I could. Wasn't there a way I could go back? No, I guess not. I'll have to look back at it again. But yeah, I feel like that this game is interesting. I know that there's probably just only like a few different observations and analysis, and most of them are going to probably feel like it's generic, but interestingly enough, they're not bad messages. They they're good messages that it does feel like it is trying to help, and I do feel like it kind of helps me and could help other people. Now, I have no idea how much more different observations and analysis this will give. For those of you who are interested in trying this out, it's only $2. It's unfortunately not free, but it is $2, and I might check out the other titles just to see if there's other questions that might test my knowledge of myself as well. Uh, but otherwise, this was very interesting and enlightening as well. It's going to be up to me whether I can put this advice to use. It's a bit of a long road ahead for that one, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, guys, Hex, Zero, if you're still there, and anybody else still watching, I hope this was entertaining enough, and I hope that some of the things you learned about me hasn't been much of a put off or anything like that. But if you still wish to continue watching me, I am going to be taking a break. I will return hopefully in the next 2 hours. As what was supposed to start at 1 is now going to be maybe 2:30 because I need to grab lunch and I need a little bit of time away. But when I return, I'm trying out seafood. And unfortunately, now that it's getting later, I'm not entirely certain if I'm going to really be drinking now. But I am going to have some alcohol. Not enough to where it's going to be much of a anything like that. Because I do want to see if I am going to be hanging out with some friends later, and I want to be capable of driving. Unless I could get somebody else to drive me. But anyways, in that regard, if you're interested, I will be returning in 2 hours, 2:30 approximately today, to try out seafood. Drunk or no drunk. But for those of you who are here just to get more insight of what makes this tabby tick, now you know a little bit about me, and now you have to take that to your grave. And so does my awkwardness. But otherwise, for those of you who have to take off and go on with your own lives, thank you for tuning in. And happy St. Patty's Day, by the way, to everybody. Uh, St. Patrick's Day, just to be proper. And I do wish you all a good rest of your afternoon, evening, night, morning, day, whenever it is in your neck of the woods. Take care. Stay safe. Stay stay sane. Still keep washing the beans. And stay true to yourself. Hopefully in a good way, but take these lessons to heart. Take these advice to heart. They might actually help you out too. And I hope they help me. But otherwise, take care.